Good evening and welcome to Bent TV. Tonight, Staying Alive. David, Leanne, Greg and Gordon discuss retirement villages and aged care facilities. In the Bear Cave, Mark, Nick and Steve discuss marriage in the bear community. And in Squeal, Andy, Dean and John discuss technology, the fear of technology.
Hello, I'm David Hunt, and welcome to Staying Alive. It's a panel show about our ageing community. Gordon, welcome.
How are you today, David?
I'm very well. And Greg, welcome to you.
David, fantastic being here.
And who's this young lass sitting next to me?
Oh, this young lass is Leanne from Switchboard, David. How are
good
you?
old Switchboard. Good, thank you. Now, our topic today is going to be that cursed word that we don't like to talk about, but going into a retirement village or putting your partner into a retirement village, people get really quite stubborn about it. You know, like I know my mother would have never have gone into
like
one.
an aged care facility
Yeah.
rather than a village, like being only gay in the village.
Just
Yeah,
about,
only gay
well, what
village.
about retirement villages? You
Yeah,
know,
that's a
there are
different-
retirement villages, which is another thing altogether, rather
right.
than nursing home and retirement homes.
Yeah. Well, an auntie of mine went into one of those retirement villages that then went into aged facility when she got unwell. So therefore, it was a nice little stepping stone
Yeah,
for
bit of a
her, which is good. And they're so popular now. But there isn't any at this stage for our community, is there?
Well, would you want to live in an all-gay community? This
That's
is
a
the
good
point.
question.
This is the point. Would you always want to live in an all-gay community? Because I have a lot of straight friends, and I get on very well with, and I get on very well with gay friends, of course.
Yep.
But do you want to be just stuck in one area with just purely gay people?
A lot of people would.
Yeah, I suppose a lot of people would.
I know, because a lot of people that I know, all their friends are gay. You know, they don't have anyone else apart from family, of course.
It's almost like a very strange version of Survivor, isn't it? Outlive, outlast. You know, who can survive the soft food longer than everyone else?
Like I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
That's
I
right.
think.
And what if Mardi Gras comes up when My Kitchen Rules final's on? You know?
And there's a big argument.
Yeah.
And you know, like, well, and imagine how many feather boas and all that there would be.
Imagine the music,
the
pipe
music.
music.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if the idea of having a gay-specific retirement village is about the level of care and acceptance, whereas if we worked on mainstream facilities to provide, have totally 100% across the board inclusive services for everybody, we'd be comfortable anyway.
Well, here's a new model. Why not a traditional retirement home? Why don't we do the Scandinavian model where you have 20, 30 people sharing a group of houses together, and in that house you have different ages. We have gay people that are in their 20s, you have gay people in their 30s, 50s, people in their 80s, and you have people in their 90s.
Wow,
And
I've
you have that respectful model of people living
Reflecting
together.
a community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real
Right.
community.
Because a group of my friends have always said one day we'll buy a house and all share it together, you know, creating our own like little community. But it's not going to happen.
Well, the price of housing these days, and you have to have a big house.
Yes.
It's not
And you
gonna-
need a big house, so you can all escape. But what you need to do is buy a block of apartments and all be in that block. So therefore, you're sharing your, like leading your own life, but then sharing. A
And
common,
legally it's easier too, because I can just imagine in a shared house like that, one person passes away and their family comes in and starts looking at
Yep.
wills, and it's
Yep.
just it would create havoc.
It's like a gay number 96.
Yeah, oh, that's going back.
That goes back a fair while,
Goes
doesn't
away,
it?
yes.
That's
Don.
showing our age. That's showing
Don,
our
and what was his partner's name?
Yes,
I can't
Gordon and Don.
Was it you?
yeah,
Were you in number 96?
No, dear, no.
So Gordon,
And have a go.
I knew the writer of it.
Can you see yourself living in one of those facilities?
I don't.
Like when you get
I don't
a little
really
bit
know.
older?
I don't really know. I have as I was mentioning to you before about this elderly friend of mine who's straight. He's 92, and that's where my boyfriend lives with him and sort of helps support him. But the old boy helps support the boyfriend as well. You know.
Yeah,
so
it's a two-way street,
It's a
isn't
two-way
it?
street. Yeah. But myself, I don't think I'd want to live in a nursing home. Actually, I don't think I could probably put up with that. It'd be all right if I was gaga and you wouldn't know what was going on around you.
Yeah,
That
well,
would
that's
be
going to
fine.
happen any moment.
That's going to happen any moment, you're right. But if I ever went into one of those places, there's no way I'm going to go into the closet.
No. And I don't
Which
I
does
don't think
happen.
you.
I've been
Which
out of
does
the closet for so bloody
And there's
long.
no closet big enough to contain you, Gordon.
That's
you know?
exactly right.
Your
I'm-
record
I'm-
collection, your
and I'm-
78s and your...
And I'm not looking for the witch in the wardrobe either.
Yeah. But there's also the stuff about being physically able to care
Oh,
for
yes,
yourself
yes.
too. So
Yeah.
it might be that you're still okay mentally,
Mentally.
but you're just unable to be mobile or
Yeah.
take care of yourself
Yeah.
as,
That's
as you
exactly
wish.
right,
So
yeah.
What if the nursing home was a snow cone free zone, David? How would you cope with that?
Oh, you mean
that's not a
Snow
euphemism for
domes.
anything, is it? I was like,
Well, I wouldn't go in. I'm sorry. I collect snow domes for those that don't know, and I've got almost 1,000, and people now bring them back from all over the world for me,
You'd
which
need two
I'm
rooms.
very.
David,
well,
they
I
could-
had to storage for
But
them.
David, if they put the house in a snow dome, would you live in it?
I would live in it, Gordon.
Okay, right.
Yes,
We'll
I'll
have
be
to
the
find-
first.
We'll have to find a big glass bowl in the house
Yeah,
underneath it.
and
for
I
you.
can do a reality show of me living in a snow dome, and the whole world could see it. Yeah.
because the other issue too is the financial implications of all of this.
Oh,
it's okay
yeah.
if you've got the money, but it costs a heap to go into an aged care facility.
I can't afford it.
Well, I know Matrix have actually partnered a few years ago now with Housing Victoria,
That's right.
and they've got the 2 new apartments, I think they're
In
2 or
Northcote.
3 in Brunswick.
Northcote, Brunswick, something
Yeah,
like that.
and they
whatever.
actually give those to older lesbians who have low incomes for life. And then when that person eventually moves on, either to a facility or passes away, then that
So
real estate becomes available
Another
again.
woman goes into
Yeah.
it. Mm.
And how long's that been
It's
happening?
probably been about 3 years now.
Right, and how's it working? Have you
Very
heard?
well, yeah, no,
Yeah?
very, very well. It's a
Apparently
great
it goes
model.
very, very well.
Right.
Yeah.
And Matrix had some input into the actual design. So they bought the apartments off the plan
Right.
and they had some input into making them more accessible in terms of, the showering area and all of those sorts of things.
Which
So
is a
that
way to
might be a
go.
good model to use
Which is a
too.
good way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the idea about a block of flats sounds very, very good.
Yeah, it's a great way.
What
But
about your block of flats? You're the handyman?
yes, I'll shove everyone else out because I'm the only gay in the village in my units. There's only 14. But it's what about that partner? If you've got a partner and all of a sudden they need that extra help and you can't do it because you're getting older as well. And some people are really stubborn and won't take that step to go into those
Well,
facilities,
it's a
will they?
huge change, a huge life change.
Well,
Yeah.
you basically lose your total independence. That's the and
But
we've
you
all
might- you-
and
but
we've
you have to
grown
do
up with
that.
with being independent people.
But David's been looking for a partner for a while. I'd generously give him my demented partner, and he could be your partner, David. How's that?
Gee, thanks. Oh, I thought you were going to be the demented person.
think I
You're gonna
probably
hang
will be.
On to me.
Yeah,
It is a hard situation because, the older you get, the more stubborn you often get as well.
Well, sometimes it's difficult to see what you actually need because you think you're okay. And
Yeah.
sometimes you need someone who's got a little bit more objectivity about how things are going. And particularly in a relationship, sometimes the partner, the carer in a relationship, doesn't want to say, I can't do this anymore because, you might have made a pact that we're going to look out for each other for the rest of our lives.
Well, I had a couple of friends that they were together, another couple of friends that were together a very long time, and one of them got very, very elderly, but the other partner looked after him until he passed away.
Yeah.
At home,
Look, there is so much more we could talk about with this topic as well. We can just talk about anything because that's the sort of people we are.
We need our naps too.
We need our afternoon disco naps. We certainly need them. Greg, Leanne and Gordon, thank you so much for
Thanks,
being on the
David.
panel. And thank you for watching, staying alive, and we'll see you again soon.
Hi, I'm Big Bear Mark, and welcome to the Bear Cave. Today, I've got with me some good friends, Nick Laws and Steve Scalone. Hi, guys. How you going?
Thanks for having me.
Good. Today on the Bear Cave, we're going to be talking about marriage and gay marriage. Well, should we be recording it gay marriage? I don't know. But marriage for us and in the bear community and what that can mean. Now, Steve, one of the things I think about marriage is one of the worries I have is that I believe in the gay community and in the bear scene, we have been able to do things our own way for a long time. So we can do things like we can have polygamous relationships, if I can say it properly, and we can have whatever relationships we want. I'm worried about this. This may put pressure on us to conform. Have you got any views about that?
I actually think, once again, it's an individual's personal preference. Me personally, I don't think I would want to get married just for the sake of marriage. But yeah, once again, it's if two people are totally committed and they think that this is a formal union to kind of express their love, then all for it. Go for it, no matter who they are. Yeah, so I think it's a very personal kind of decision.
Yeah. Nick, what do you think about marriage?
I think this is like, if you're going to do it, it's like, part of it is that promising yourselves to each other sort of thing, and it's just like the words are along the lines of, to having to hold whatever it is, to exclusion of everyone else sort of thing. And I think that's probably where that is, so like, but I suppose, it's like rules, rules are rules, the sort of thing, rules are broken, I suppose, but it's just interesting, the wording of it. What is marriage actually about? Is it to one person only sort of thing? It's just.
Well, that's it. I mean, we've got the society construct where we believe that marriage is a monogamous thing, but is it? I mean, even people who can get married now, straight people, they cheat on each other all the time. They have open relationships. Now, we were talking in a previous episode about open relationships. Do you think people can still get married and have an open relationship?
Yeah, I can't see why not. It all depends on their beliefs, really. Like, most people would have grown up with some type of religion. So I grew up as a Catholic, and their belief is monogamy. Once you get married, there is no divorce, all that type of thing. A true Catholic, anyway. So, and I believe that some kind of Eastern religions and that type of thing allow polygamy and things like that. So once again, I think it gets back to your own beliefs and your own decisions. Yeah, it's personal.
Exactly. Nick, I kind of agree with Steve there, but if you met someone who wanted to get married, would you be up for it?
It's a hard question, that one. It's just like, if it was the right person, yes, I would. It's just like, yeah, definitely. It's one of those, and it is on that a personal basis, I think, with it, as to whether you do. But I'd suppose, sort of like coming from the other things that come from it as well. It's like, the sort of legal obligations and those sorts of things. You know what I mean? It's just sort of like, I suppose formalising something, whereas it's just like previously, it's sort of like an unformalised relationship. It can sort of be a bit of a thing that's just going along. As opposed to something that's actually more secure, you know what I mean? Or sort of like, something in sort of writing there, I don't know, I suppose is a way to describe it.
Yeah, one of the things I find is, it's a bit of a strange subject because I always imagined I would never get married. Even from a young age, being gay, you just don't think about that. I resigned myself that I would never get married. And I think that at the moment, I wouldn't be rushing to get married just because, my partner doesn't want to either, but it doesn't factor in our lives. Would it factor in your life at all, Steve? I
guess from my point of view, it's not that I don't want to, it's just I don't personally see a need for it. But I can actually see why a lot of couples would want to. Like, I've heard horrible stories, mainly in the States, where de facto relationships have been kind of shut out of hospitals and next of kin and will kind of legalities and things like that, purely because they actually don't have any kind of proof that they've been together for 15 years. And to me, that is unexcusable. It's awful.
Yeah, and I've heard the same thing in Australia, actually. I've heard of cases where a partner has died and the family has frozen the other partner out, which is horrible. But should we be getting married just for legal reasons?
Yeah, no, not at all.
No. No?
Yeah, I'm on two sides of that. It's just for the sake of protecting your partner. If anything, you know what I mean, from a point of view of that if you had that sort of situation where, if they weren't well or whatever like that, a hospital situation or something like that, I mean, how awful to be locked out on something like that if, that was the case, you know what I mean? It's just, so from those other sides, but, just from the union sort of point of view, it's not so much that, but from the formalities of the relationship, I suppose, there's a side to me that says, it seems like a good idea.
Yeah, and I also want to touch on the fact that, okay, if we have gay marriage, do we then seek recognitions for polyamorous couples and different types of relationships? I mean, people are worried in the community at the moment that that's where it may lead, but is that something that we should be looking at after the fact?
Well, but I suppose who defines the marriage is what it comes down to. It's just why are we defined as one person married to one person sort of thing with our our legalism? And I'm not legal at all, but why has that definition been around for so long with it, and why can't it change as well? You know what I mean? It's.
Do you have a view on that, Steve?
No, that's a tricky one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tricky.
It's a hard question.
It's a hard question. I mean,
Yeah.
personally, I believe that people should be able to have a relationship that they want, and it should be legally viewed. I mean, there are obviously boundaries. I mean, obviously when we come to things like bestiality and stuff, no, okay.
Yes,
but
understand.
obviously
Consenting.
for consenting, it's a huge subject, and again, we could talk for ages about marriage and all the different types of relationships we can have, but we won't.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Nick. Thank you very much, Steve, for
Pleasure.
being on the Bear Cave today.
Thank you.
I'm Big Bear Mark. Thank you for being with us today, and we'll catch you next time on the Bear Cave.
Thank you for staying with Bent TV. Please visit our website, Twitter, YouTube channel and Facebook to find the different ways you can support Bent TV, provide feedback and become involved in supporting Bent TV. Back after this break.
Y'all need to watch on the y'all damn nuts.
Welcome to Squeal. I am Andy McNamara. Tonight I am joined by John Richards and Dean Arcuri. We are going to chat about the endless topic of technology because it's driving me crazy.
Which bit's driving you crazy?
The changes. Lots of good stuff comes, but I just, I had my first phone for like 12 years. Now I've had one for 4 years, and it's one of those slidey ones, and it's become a biphone because the two bits slid apart. And I don't.
I must admit, I have a bit of fear with technology where a thing comes along I'm not remotely interested in, but I get worried that if I don't pay attention to it now, then in 4 generations of time when it's important, I will have no idea what it is, and it will terrify me.
I love technology because stuff that I bought like 2 months ago is already retro. It's great.
One of my neighbours asked if you can have my phone, my split phone, to keep as a memento of history or something.
Because I worry about turning to my parents, who were technology terrified them. I was certain they could blow the television up by pressing the wrong buttons. My mother answering machine, she's clearly on the other side of the room. I think she's nervous that something might happen, and it's that whole thing of I fear that.
So we need a fear of being left behind by technology.
A little bit, yeah. And the fact is, also a lot of what I do is online. I do a lot of podcasting and online media and all that sort of stuff, and I still don't know.
And it's fantastic.
Well, but I don't know an awful lot of the tech, and I don't really want to. It's like that thing of.
But that's how I survive. Like, I don't need to understand everything that it does. I just get the fandangle things and figure out how to work it kind of nicely, and it works. And it's been working for me for years.
So just stick with the bare minimum is what you're.
Well, no. Like, I have a lot of technology. I still have VHS and videos and record players and things as well. Like, some call me a hoarder. I think it's a bit more traditional, but. I love technology, I love the different things that it does, but the mistake you make is in something that, say, the older generation have had to do is they go, let's understand everything that this thing does before we step into it. We have no time for that anymore. You can't do that. That's not the way that technology in the world around us needs to work or be operated. You've got to grab it and go.
I know, because I do put off the things like getting a new operating system though, because it's like I can't be bothered having to learn how to use this. It's like I haven't got time to learn the new system, and so I will delay that kind of.
Well, I do that sometimes too, because you've got to fit it into a time that you can work it and arrange it. But that's all about updating. Take it for a person who's worked in a business with their family and was still in Windows 2002 because that's how my father knew how to work it.
Right.
But he'd still be asking, so how do I save a document? And it's like, that thing that looks like a disk, that's save. ultimately, technology is going to keep on moving forward. You've just got to kind of dive in with it.
You do, or you'll be totally left behind.
I was reading about these phones, though. This might be useful for you, Andy.
Yeah.
I was so taken by this. There's a company that makes phones for old people.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yes,
They look great.
They are great, and also they look amazing. They're really beautiful. And the idea of the phones is they did research and discovered most people, and I suspect most people, but they said most people over a certain age only need 10 phone numbers. So all it does, makes and receives calls, 10 numbers. And so the 10 phone numbers are pre-programmed in. When you buy one, you give them the numbers.
Yeah.
They program them in. You give them photos if you want, and your phone will come back with 10 buttons with a photo of each person.
Oh my God.
I'm not quite that old.
You
but
press the thing,
my
you
parents
get
would love
that
it.
person.
I think that's the phone
it.
that you have for your parents
Yeah.
when they're, and it's like the emergency contact phone.
That is the point.
I
That
could
is
not
the point.
exist with a phone
That is
like
the point
that.
of this phone, and I want one that does the internet, but I kind of find something quite reassuring and wonderful about that. Also, these phones look amazing. They just look beautiful. And I like the idea of an object that goes, it makes phone calls, that's what it does.
Yeah.
I know that technology isn't that hard. The many different things. You've just got to look at what it is and figure out how it's going to work for you. And don't be afraid of it. There's this fear when it comes to technology and things and computers and where everyone thinks if you take a step too far, then you'll never be able to go backwards.
But
Totally.
is there any
that's not
tech that you
true.
find doesn't work for you, though, that has gone too far? I know I would say, one that I find is I realised when I was playing digital music, I was never ever playing it. I need to buy CDs. They need to physically
I
sit
still
on the
do
shelf.
that now.
Yeah,
I
or else
still
they don't
purchase
exist.
CDs
Yep,
and
me
I
too.
copy them and put them onto every other thing that will play them. And that's just because I like CDs. I respect that money is going towards many different markets in relation to that. The business that's actually selling it, as well as the artist specifically. Yes, we live in a time where people are like, oh, you can just download the CD for free. And you've got to, at some point, as artists, as we are, realise and respect that there's a chain of money and you've got to be able to give that back to the person. But I'm still a person that wants the physical CD in my hand and not just have all of these things to connect it all through. So I'll put it in and I'll connect it to everything that I've got.
Cool. So back to technology. John's question, do you use every bit of technology
Is there any tech
bought
that you've tried and gone backwards on, though? I'm wondering if there's anything you went...
and given up and gone, oh, it's too hard, I can't
Well,
work
no,
out.
I'm the person that still has a video player and still has videos.
Yeah,
even
so
though
you
I've
just use
got
everything.
the DVD.
Yeah.
I like using it all and it all provides different things for me.
Right. I
Inspirationally.
do still have some videotapes, even though I don't have a VHS player anymore. But they're ones that were like often given to me and things, and I'll transfer them eventually.
Well, that's what I've said about
yeah.
porn, but it doesn't quite happen. But what I've kind of loved with my videotapes is, like I've got tapes from when family members have passed away, and it's like their favourite movie and stuff, and it's awesome to actually pop it in and see the old commercials and things like that, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And not everything in our life needs to be so compact, but technology is going to keep on moving, so you've got to move with it, but it doesn't mean you need to dump everything behind you.
Yeah, I do have a phobia about it. I buy something new and I'll just leave it there for 2 days and not touch it because the stress of buying it was enough and I need to leave it and then come back to it and then think, oh.
Just
and
dive
often
in.
I just also look at my boyfriend and try and do the puppy dog eyes and get him to search
I
to
mean,
play
I have
it
the
out
lesser
for me.
version, which is where I've got the upgrade of something, and there's always that, oh, now I've got to learn how to use it again because they've changed
But
everything.
it's not that long, guys. Like, it really isn't. It's not about you. You're overthinking it. You're an old man thinking it.
I think
you're
we've
old man
we've seen
it.
bad technology, but now, first time I picked up an iPhone, it's amazingly intuitive. I just couldn't believe I could do everything without that lesson.
It still thinks I use the word duck far too frequently, but what are you going to do? It's just technology. It's nothing to be afraid of. You've just got to dive on in. It's not like we're going to become the Terminator world,
No.
Just use it.
Yeah,
That's what they said in the Terminator world, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Connecting.
Don't know about Skynet, it's fine.
Connecting different
the
things
iCloud.
is my real fear. Connecting two different machines or, that's the...
The one thing I have learned is to not use all... You know how they try to make all this technology...
Integrated and whatever.
Integrate everything into your life.
yeah.
I'm like, no one needs their life that integrated.
Yep.
No one needs to have to be able to hit a button on their phone to turn on the air conditioning at home before they step into it. Just turn on the aircon when you get... everyone just needs to chill a little bit.
Now,
just because it's all there doesn't mean you need to use it.
Some friends of mine had their house done like that. The lights and the air conditioning and the burglar alarm and everything all connected. And every day their lights would all turn on and the burglar alarm would go off and the heating come on, the air conditioning, everything at once because it was all too wound up. Every time a light globe would blow, that's what happened. Suddenly all the alarms are going and anyway. You have been on Squeal. I think we have technology-ized ourselves out. See you next time.
That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for watching. My name is Gavin Henderson. Please visit our website, YouTube channel, Facebook to keep in contact and support Bent TV.